Second caretaker, before he took his life, stated red lady in the red clothes came to him and asked him to go with her, and he just simply refused her. He had no idea who that lady was, but he added, "This lady will come back tomorrow, same time." And he was scared to death. My uncle and grandpa didn't show him that they are paying any attention, but inside their hearts, they knew what he was talking about. It's no mistake, because of the first caretaker talked about the same woman in red before he vanished without a trace. So they told him one of them will be with him tomorrow, from the sunset till dawn. It was a weather report. There will be heavy snow for straight 2 weeks. But there was an urgency to see my cousin, who lives in a village which is on the top of the hill at about 350 miles away from my current location. The most beautiful and organic environment, especially when you cut from the highway and put your car on the mountains, curvy paths, and you see everything from the top. You would just stop your car on the side of the road and feel the view. You just want to take a break. You get only positive vibes. My 5 hours of drive turned into 8 hours due to the bad weather. I mean, the heavy snow. You can't drive for more than 35 miles per hour. Now, at this moment, 3 weeks were already passed. It was the time to go back home. But report alerted everyone that the weather would get even crazier. And not only the snow, but this time blizzards will be on the way. My cousin suggested me to wait until the weather would calm down. I listened to my cousin, waited for further 3 more days, but the weather would even get worse. Or this was maybe the last opportunity, since I was there, to spend few more days at the farmhouse. So we prepared ourselves again, and we sent a message to our caretaker to take more 3 days or leaves and come back when we asked him to come back. Now we are the second generation to keep this cattle shed running. Different breeds of horses and cows, or our current caretaker has been taking care of these domestic animals for about 4 months now. Not only he, but none of the neighbors and the villagers know whatever is going on with the shed. And we are keeping this secret for 2 generations. Through decades, except 2 major incidents, nothing else bothered us. One, when the first caretaker wanted to light himself on fire by pouring gasoline on himself. When other workers saw him doing this act in the shed, they held him tight and they had to chain him with a pillar using metal lock or padlock. By the next morning, nobody could ever explain or had any clue how the hell he escaped or freed himself and never returned. Without a trace, he just vanished into the thin air. It was 60 years ago, and I heard this story a few times from my father. That caretaker claimed to see a woman with long red gown asking him to go with her. First, my grandpa didn't believe his words, but then the incident freeing himself, which was impossible, put my grandpa, uncle, and my father into doubts. And then 2 decades passed. Second caretaker, before he took his life, stated red lady in the red clothes came to him and asked him to go with her, and he just simply refused her. He had no idea who that lady was, but he added, "This lady will come back tomorrow, same time." And he was scared to death. My uncle and grandpa didn't show him that they are paying any attention, but inside their hearts, they knew what he was talking about is no mistake, because of the first caretaker talked about the same woman in red before he vanished without a trace. So they told him one of them will be with him tomorrow, from the sunset till dawn. Next evening, my uncle stayed with him, but nothing happened. No woman in red appeared. For a whole week, in the daytime, they kept their eyes on him, monitor him and all the domestic animals and their activities, because animals, they have ability to see the unseen or invisible entities and forces. For whole 2 weeks, nothing happened except the snowfall, blizzard, and a lot of tea and the snacks. Now, in the third week, it started to become harder to stay at night, due to they have been staying up late for last 2 weeks, and they had a very less sleep in the daytime. So everything was normal. So they dropped their plan. That night, they had the best sleep. Next morning, the caretaker took his own life, made everyone shocked and scared to death. So they knew it was not about the family. Something had to be with or in the shed, which never belonged to us, or something that we couldn't understand at all. After his tragic incident, Uncle decided to not to take any caretaker anymore, but rather take care of the shed himself for 9 years. So after 9 years, many caretakers took the job. There is one who had been taking care of our shed for 20 years. And now his son took his father's position. He saw the woman in red, came to him at the shed wearing red clothes, asking his help to fix her broken cart. And he did. After 6 decades, and for the first time in my life, I heard these words from someone who actually witnessed something we heard from the stories from our grandparents. Now, neither this 20 years old and his father, who's taking care of our shed for more than 35 years, had any idea about earlier 2 caretakers' tragedy. And I bet if they knew, they would never work for us. And this is why, with this history, I drove to my cousin to witness if there is something shocking event are taking place. But as I said, while my stay at my cousin, nothing happened. So I asked my cousin to visit the shed and let's spend few more hours before I head back to home to make sure everything is normal. And she agreed. Due to staying up in the night these 3 weeks, last night I had a very good sleep. And luckily, everything was normal. So after those final hours, I asked my cousin to keep in touch with me in case. And then I said goodbye to my cousin. That sunset, I sat in my Porsche and started to drive back to enjoy the weather, snow, silence of the night. Something I don't want to miss it. Sometimes I enjoy late night drives through the cold mountains just to reset my vibes and remove my stress. Even though I had a good sleep, still I was feeling a bit sleepy and dizzy. I just ignored these symptoms and carried on with my drive. I gripped the steering wheel very tightly, and as the snow was covering the road, unwound before me, and the windshield wipers were swishing back and forth, clearing the snow that had accumulated on the glass. But due to heavy snowfall, vision was getting blurry. I had been driving for hours now, lost in thoughts, thinking about the shed and my conversation or discussion with my cousin, when I saw the sign dead end. I realized I have already lost my way. I slammed on the brakes, but the tires skidded on the icy surface. The car fishtailed. I just struggled to regain my control and get back myself on the track. I put my car in reverse. The wheel just spun. I was stuck, nowhere to be found if anything happened to me. Tall mountains, trees covered with snow, and their branches etched against the moon like skeletal fingers. I wrapped my scarf tighter around my neck feeling the cold seep into my bones. The temperature had dropped precipitously. I fumbled for my phone to call my cousin, but my phone died. I spent a few minutes, but I couldn't find the charging cables. I didn't want to wait further before it could get even worse. I just wanted to get out of this situation ASAP. As I was about to get out of my car, I'm not making up, I saw a woman in long red gown blocking my car. She put her hand on the front of my car, swiping away the snow, and suddenly my car alarm triggered. I looked at my monitor and there was no any warning signs. And as I looked up in panic, the woman was gone. I stepped out of my car, scanned through the whole area. The wind howled through the trees, sending shivers down to my spine. I took a step back towards my car. As I did, I saw something that made my blood run cold. That woman in the red standing just behind the trees, watching me. I was frozen in time-space. My heart was racing in my chest. The woman didn't move. It simply stood there, a monolith of darkness in the moonlight. I tried to pray, but my voice just caught in my throat. Just as I turned my neck to see that woman, if she was still there, she was gone. The wind died, and a oppressive silence fell over the forest. Darkness seemed to be closing in around me, suffocating me, and the world just went black. As I took a step forward towards my car, I heard this voice behind me. I spun around and there was nothing. And then suddenly the car engine sputtered and died too. And you can imagine what I was going through. Then I remember saying of my father, when you let your fear enter your brain, it will start to control you, it will start to haunt you. And before it does, don't just let your fear get close to you. I was trying to collect myself, and then I heard the same voice again. It was whispery and soft, but it sent shivers down to my spine. Get out, it said. Leave the car and walk towards that tree. I hesitated, but something compelled me to obey, even I wanted to refuse. I walked away from my car, my eyes staring to see through the falling snow towards that tree. As I walked, I stumbled, and when I looked up, I saw the same woman in red standing in front of me. I have never seen such a beautiful face in my life, and her eyes were totally grave. She regarded me calmly. Her eyes were cutting me like a sharp, shiny razor in that darkness. You shouldn't have come here. As I tried to speak, again my throat refused to let my words come out, and the woman took a step closer, her breath misting into the cold air. She gently combed my hair. Her fingers were icy cold and were giving me shiver all over my body. Walk with me, I have something to show you. I was struggling to respond. Something locked me all over. With full force, I just jolted in order to get rid of her, and everything went black. And then I realized I was back in my car. And for a few minutes, I tried to understand what exactly happened. The engine was keep running, and the windshield wipers were swishing back and forth. I was shaken but alive. Noticed my car was stuck. I took a deep breath, gave another try, put my car into the first gear and hit the gas. This time it worked. I drove on, leaving the darkness of the forest behind. But as I looked into the rear view mirrors, I could have sworn I saw that woman watching me from those trees. I drove fast as I could, calculating the speed and possibility to slip from the icy road again. When I reached home, it was already 5 a.m. morning. Still too dark, I parked my car in the garage and headed to my living room. As I looked back to my car, I was shaken to my core. The marks of her hands swiping away the snow on the front of my car was so visible and forced me to believe whatever I've gone through was real, without a doubt and question. It really happened. The woman in red was there with me and maybe is still with me. Entered the room, kept my lights on, and waited till the sun rays started to hit my windows. And then I slept. I would never forget that night. Had brought me face to face with the unknown that I only heard in the stories, and now I saw her, and even I feel her presence sometimes. That's it for now. Make sure if you drive in the midnight in the similar bad weather, never stop, or you will caught up in the similar situation. I would love to hear from you about this story, and if you find something that you want to share with me from the timestamp, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. And if you are a fan of the dark mysterious stories, true crimes, movies, recaps, reactions, please follow me on IG, TikTok, Facebook, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, which follows the same handle as Mr. Uzair Sipra. And as always, please take care of yourself and your surrounding. I am Uzair Sipra, and I will see you very soon with another shocking mystery. Until next time.